and welcome to the latest edition of the IoT Security Foundation monthly webinar series. We've got shortened versions of previous webinar recordings on our YouTube channel, and IoTSF members can watch the webinar recording archive in its entirety via our members-only platform. If you're watching live today, I'll put the link to our YouTube channel in Zoom in just a few moments, and if you're not already an IoTSF member, I'll put the link to join the IoTSF in Zoom chat as well. Before we get going, a quick shout out to everybody who attended the IoT Security Foundation event in Bangalore this past Saturday. It was an automotive themed event, and it was again well attended, so that was brilliant to see. Also, since our last monthly webinar, we've had an event in Melbourne as well. So I wanted to say hello to everybody who attended that as well. A bit later on in the broadcast today, we'll have Scott Coyne's Temple Melville talking about cryptocurrency. He'll be explaining why Ripple is such a behemoth and how it relates to IoT security. But first up today, we cross over to Dusseldorf's Michael Beine of Bureau Veritas. He's going to tell us all about CRAcoWi. That's an innovative project addressing the growing cybersecurity challenges in the European digital market. It's been developed in response to the European CRA, and CRAcoWi provides essential tools and support to help SMEs, manufacturers, distributors, and importers meet the cybersecurity standards throughout the product life cycle. If you've got any questions for Michael, put them in Zoom chat if you're watching live, and we'll ask them during the Q&A section at the end. So we'll cross over to Dusseldorf now. Michael Beine, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for inviting me and having me on this webinar. A little bit about myself. I'm working at Bureau Veritas in Düsseldorf, and I'm responsible for cybersecurity services that we deliver from this location. I'm focusing a lot on the IoT topics, and here we see the Radio Equipment Directive and the Cyber Resilience Act as a key ruling legislations in Europe, but also we look across the globe in also other areas of and how cybersecurity is done there. Today, I'm explaining about the CRAcoWi project and the approach that we are taking in this consortium and project to address and prepare for the Cyber Resilience Act, which is coming and coming quickly. Let me share my screen and go through a few slides to highlight and explain the project. I hope you can see the screen.
We can see the screen just fine, Michael.
Perfect. Thank you for confirmation. So we have an interesting acronym, CRAcoWi. It sounds like the city in Poland, but it is actually an acronym for Cyber Resilience Act, CRA, Compliance Wizard, COWI. And the intention is to make cybersecurity compliance easy. And I like to say, as a wizard, by the ease of magic. It is an EU-funded project to prepare for this legislation. And I'll go to this. I did my intro already. So every cybersecurity talk starts with some big numbers and threats that are out there. To make sure that everybody is feels threatened about the bad guys who may do ransomware attacks, who are big in global numbers, and who also cause a lot of cost. So if a company or also individuals get hit by a cybercrime attack, that also creates a lot of cost and effort and headaches. Not only in ransom to be paid, but also sometimes in loss of operation and operational cost. And one of the approaches of the European Union to address this ever increasing risks that come with the digitalization is the Cyber Resilience Act. And the key intention and idea is to protect the EU common market against cyber attacks targeting vulnerable products. So there's different aspects of cybersecurity for sure. There's operational aspects, there's the IT aspects, but there's also the product aspects. And the Cyber Resilience Act looks at those products and how they are placed on the market and trying to make sure that they are protected against vulnerabilities. So doing this aims to safeguard consumers, but also businesses buying and relying on products with digital elements. And these kind of products can be hardware products, but also can be software products, and for sure, a combination of both. Looking a little bit into the timelines, the law as a Cyber Resilience Act is a European law, has been enacted end of last year and has a transition period of 3 years. So that means in December 2027, all products with digital elements need to comply to the requirements of the Cyber Resilience Act. And this is a 3 years time for everybody to prepare for it, especially product manufacturers are the target group for this compliance journey. The intention, the guarantees and ideas of the Cyber Resilience Act are to create harmonized rules when bringing products on the European market, so that the cyber security aspects are handled in a harmonized way, let's say, for all products. It will create a framework of cybersecurity requirements regarding the planning, designing, development, and maintenance of such products. So looking into the whole life cycle, not only at a certain point of time, not only at the development, not only at the production, but also during the use of the product, the security needs to be maintained. So the view in the whole life cycle creates that holistic approach that is most relevant for a to address cybersecurity, and especially for products, the whole life cycle creates this holistic view. And also it mandates to provide the duty of care with some obligations that the Cyber Resilience Act imposes or defines for manufacturers to comply with or to follow. And to make it visible, but also to give it a legal framework, the CE marking will be used as the already established mechanism of marking compliance of products in the EU common market. So latest 2027 or end of 2027, the CE mark will not only indicate that this product is safe to be used, it also will mean that it is secure to be used, especially in the sense of cybersecurity. And this can be achieved by compliance or demonstrated by manufacturers through the compliance with standards. And this is the big one big topic in the Cyber Resilience Act, to establish those standards to make sure everybody is aware and can know what is the actual technical requirement. Typically, the legal language stays on a certain level of detail, but are sometimes difficult to concretely implement into a device. those standards can help to achieve this and make this more clear. Another topic is that additional compliance requirements create also efforts for manufacturers, and that may be a disproportional burden, especially for small, medium enterprise companies. And one of the intentions of the CRAcoWi project is to really simplify the compliance and reduce the burden so that it is also can be handled by the small, medium enterprise companies. So how to simplify the compliance? The idea in our project is to use automated tools that enable and support the journey through the compliance journey to achieve certification, to put together the technical documentation about the product that is necessary to describe the cybersecurity features and the cybersecurity mechanisms built into the product. And it can help to do the assessment. Because also for compliance, there's always the part of the assessment to verify the compliance to the standard. And the cyber resilience, the compliance wizard can help with all these steps. Technically, it is based on a firmware scan, a binary firmware scan. That means it can extract the software bill of material. Essential part of that technical documentation is the software bill of material, and it can extract the software bill of material from the binary. It can relate it on the first place to known vulnerabilities. That's an important exercise mandated by the Cyber Resilience Act to manufacturers make sure that products are not vulnerable to known vulnerabilities, exploitable known vulnerabilities. So assessing the SBOM for known exploitable vulnerabilities is an essential step in the Cyber Resilience Act compliance, and the wizard can help to do this and achieve this in an automated way. The second step beyond the SBOM is also to look into the firmware and map those findings or properties that can be extracted from the firmware and relate that to the requirements and the checklist of the Cyber Resilience Act and give already some indications of compliance. So with a very simple step of just uploading the firmware binary and have it assessed or have it checked automatically, a first impression of compliance can be achieved. During the assessment itself, it will be enhanced or added and completed with information that cannot be extracted from the firmware. For example, with information from active testing, the communication interfaces, and looking at the interfaces of the device, but also with some additional documentation, and that is needed. With this whole package, finally, a certification can be achieved and can be issued to demonstrate compliance to the Cyber Resilience Act. And that's actually the key role of Bureau Veritas as a company in the TIC industry, testing, inspection, and certification. That is actually our business, and that's why we also engage in the cyber compliance wizard project, in the CRAcoWi project as a member, because we see our role here as the certification body, the certification entity, and also we are contributing and closely monitoring the standardization which is the basis also for these assessments. I also want to highlight a little bit the consortium. So we have 14 members or stakeholders in the consortium across 4 EU countries, from the industrial. We have industrial end users of products. We have technology partners who are developing the building blocks of the technology. We also have the small medium enterprise members who are in our target groups. So to make sure that the compliance wizard, which is being developed and adjusted to the Cyber Resilience Act requirements, also meets the expectation of those stakeholders and of those users. The objectives of this consortium clearly are to enhancing the awareness of cybersecurity and compliance. One of the activities in that towards this objective is, for example, this webinar today, where I'm trying to explain and increase the awareness of the Cyber Resilience Act and about the obligations that are relevant for manufacturers and about the contribution of the CRAcoWi project. That is also done in an extensive capacity building program. So I invite you to join the CRAcoWi consortium website, but also our channels in LinkedIn or our mailing list, where we provide updated information and the details about the Cyber Resilience Act. As I describe a little bit the functionality of the compliance wizard already, it supports the aspect of a health check. As I said, it's a very simple initial step to get a first impression of the readiness and the compliance level towards the Cyber Resilience Act. It also supports the full compliance assessment and certification. And last but not least, an important requirement, but also a good contribution by the wizard, is that it knows the SBOM, the software bill of material, with the versions of the different libraries. And as soon as new vulnerabilities are detected and are published, the wizard can inform manufacturers about these new vulnerabilities in their existing products. And this is an essential step of the product lifecycle management and especially the vulnerability management. So the wizard also supports in the life cycle of the product. So in 4 boxes, the CRAcoWi project empowers small medium enterprises. It is designed to support them in adopting and simplifying the compliance journey by a structured process and automated tools that are included. It covers the holistic cybersecurity approach, not only looking at individual product features or not only looking at encryption, but also looking into the full life cycle and processes and organizational requirements that are relevant to show compliance to the Cyber Resilience Act. It achieves these objectives by automating the compliance journey and certification by automated tool chain and supporting through the assessment, documentation generating, and cybersecurity certification. And finally, with the capacity building and dissemination, our promotion activities intend to make or to increase the awareness and create the awareness of the Cyber Resilience Act, but at the same time, for sure, also for our project. I'm sharing here a few channels that as I said, recommend you to join. We are visible on LinkedIn as a CRAcoWi project. We have also a mailing list over there that you can subscribe to and get frequent updates on not only Cyber Resilience Act. We also try to look beyond the pond and see what's happening, for example, in the US for the US Cyber Trust Mark, and also in other areas where cyber security is relevant. Thank you very much for your attention, for having me here and explaining the CRAcoWi. I think I'm now open to ask to answer questions if there are any.
Hi, Michael. Thank you very much for that. We'll be doing the Q&A at the end,
Okay.
in fact. So if anybody who's got a question is watching this broadcast live at the moment, put your question or comment, observation or whatever in Zoom chat, and we will put those to Michael towards the end of today's broadcast. So current cybersecurity methods aren't keeping pace with sophisticated attacks. The very foundation of our digital world, the computer architecture itself, is inherently permissive, leaving it vulnerable to a wide range of exploits. A brand new IoTSF publication is now available. It is entitled Global Marketing Strategy Report for SNBD/CHERRY based router and connected device infrastructure, and it tackles the challenge head on. It's available right now, and if you're watching live, I'll put the link for this brand new report in Zoom chat, and if you're watching this recorded, go to the news section of IoT Security Foundation.org.